Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So today we're looking at the Creative Stamping Magazine. This is issue 204 and we get two gifts with this month's issue. So first of all, we get this really beautiful embossing folder. So both of these are by Paper Discovery. So this embossing folder is roughly 4 by about 5 3/4 inches. So a really great size there. And then of course we have our A4 stamp set. This is called Japanese Dreams, and we've got some really beautiful big imagery in here as well, and we've got some really great sentiments. We've got happy, then you can have anniversary or birthday. We've got thinking of you, good luck, on your retirement, and wishes. So again, you can kind of mix and match those. We've got some Japanese symbols down here. We've got the koi fish, we've got kind of the geisha girl, we've got some cherry blossoms there, and just some really beautiful stamps. So I'm going to try and use as many of these as possible on today's card, but for now let's just take a look through the magazine at some of the inspiration. I've had a quick look through and we do have some really fantastic examples of what you can do, different colour schemes and lots of different techniques. So the first ones we've got is by Nikki. So we've got these 4 cards here. The colour scheme is beautiful. You've got kind of those purples, pinks, orange into yellow. I really love this one here with the koi fish. You've got the little lily pads in there as well. I think they are really beautiful. She's got some techniques of what you can do, how to lift ink through a stencil using a baby white technique. So she's used a different stencil here, so it doesn't come with the set, but you know, it shows you the technique and it's created this really beautiful background. So we've got sanding back blending, we've got ink smushing blending, so lots and lots of different techniques that you can try. Again, this one here with the koi fish, absolutely love that one. So then we have these examples here. These are by Sarah. So again, we've got techniques, stamp and heat emboss a blossom border. So creating that border. I really love the color scheme with these. So we have got kind of the blues and the reds there. I'm going to use that a little bit in that colour scheme for my card today. We're using a little bit more primary colour, so we're using blue, red and yellow. And we do have some papers that you can download as well from the Craft World website. I haven't downloaded any papers. I'm literally just going to use what's with the kit today. But again, a really beautiful colour scheme here. So again, you've got like this geisha girl being made kind of that front and centre. These papers are really beautiful. Again, that koi fish, you've got this kind of scroll here that she's heat embossed a one of those Japanese symbols into. I think that's really beautiful. And we've got some simple decoupage, so just building up those layers of those apple blossoms. Absolutely beautiful. So Sarah's done some as well. So again, this is Oriental Springtime, so a slightly different colour palette again with those koi. So you've got a lot of pastel colours, which I think is really beautiful. Then just quickly a sneak peek while we're going through the magazine. This is a collection of cards I made for Simply Cards and Papercraft issue 226. This is the free gift you get here, Slimline Spring Florals, and we get a Pink Fresh Studio stamp set as well. So here is one of the cards I made. This is a Slimline card. This was all about watercolouring and a little bit of no-line watercolouring as well. So if you're interested in that set, make sure you check out that. It's on sale the 13th of January. To see some more of my cards in there. So looking at what comes included in next month's issue, we have got a section here by Hunky Dory for the love of stamps, and then the stamp set is called Potty, about plants. So we've got all of these plants here, we've got different sentiments. Again, then we've got that little section there with the Hunky Dory, and we have 41 stamps featured by Hunky Dory, plus an exclusive 2-piece die set as well. I think we get like a bench and then that happy birthday as well. So we get absolutely tons in that issue. But for now, let's create our card using the Creative Stamping issue 104, and this is Japanese Dreams. So the card we're going to make today, this is called a Joy Fold card. This is the first time I've made this and I really love how this has come out. You can see how this is going to look when it's sort of opened and closed. The finished size when it's folded together is 6 by 6 inch. So this will fit into a 6 by 6 inch envelope. So the dimensions, so you can use a pre-made 6 by 6 inch card base. That front of the card you need to cut at 3 1/4 to give you kind of a half half measure. I did end up using just an A4 sheet of paper that I cut down. So the full size I needed was 9 1/4 long by 6 inches tall. And then I scored at 3 1/4 inch to give me that front flap. And then the inside piece that you can see here, this white piece, so this, again, you could use a pre-made card, but again, I cut this from an A4 sheet of paper. So this was 10 inches long by 3 1/4 inches wide, and again, that was scored at 5 inch. You can see my mats and layers I've already cut here. So we've got some gold Miri cards, and I've picked then some of my Craft Perfect card. So we've got some yellow, red, and blue here. I wanted to kind of have this really beautiful color scheme, and I think the end result, I think it worked really nicely. For my mats and layers, for each layer I've come down 1/4 inch. So for example, this piece of gold Miri card that I'm adding tape to now, this is going onto that backing, which is going to be 6 by 6 inch. So I've cut this mat to be 5 3/4 inch square. The yellow that's going to go on top of that is going to be 5 1/2 inches square. So again, every layer has come down 1/4 inch, and this is usually standard because I find it the easiest. You don't have to worry about kind of measuring and things like that, and you get a good amount. You see a good amount of those layers. For all of my layers, I'm going to be using double-sided tape today. Apologies for my lighting here. My lights and my camera really hate this gold Miri card. Well, really any Miri card, to be honest. But yeah, I'm using double-sided tape. I didn't want to risk using my craft glue because when I have used it in the past, it has wrinkled my card, and I really didn't want that to happen. I don't have any tape run or anything at the moment. I need to get some ordered. So I am just going to be using this double-sided tape, but don't worry, I will be editing most of this out. But as I said, so using double-sided tape, the easiest way I find to release this backing is using my pokey tool. So I literally just get it underneath and it comes out super quick. So I needed to get these mats and layers down first of all, so then I can create a background. I need to put these down before I attach sort of the second card that's going to be on this particular card to make it a Joyfold card. So I've got a piece of white cardstock here, so this is going to create yet another layer. So this is 5 1/4 inch square, and I'm going to be stamping some of these koi fish. I think these are going to look beautiful, and I created a really lovely background for this. So I'm just pulling out this stamp. I'm also going to pull out my stamping platform so I can get a really great impression of these koi fish. So what I'm going to do, something you can do really easily, this works perfectly when you have a square piece of cardstock, and you can almost create a kind of wreath with this. So what I'm going to do is pop it onto this first corner, so this left hand corner. You're not going to see too much of this, so I wanted to have it slightly off the edge. I've inked this out with some black Memento ink because I'm going to use some alcohol markers. And once I've stamped that and I'm happy, I've rotated my cardstock 90 degrees and I haven't moved my stamp. I'm going to stamp it in that exact same place, and it's going to allow me to do this in all 4 corners. And it's going to fit perfectly because it's a square piece of cardstock. It is fitting perfectly. So I did end up stamping some lily pads in the center of this as well, because I thought you were gonna see a lot more of this than what you actually end up seeing. I did color them and everything, but they do end up getting covered. You can see them here. I did the exact same thing where I put it onto one particular portion of the card, and then I just rotated my cardstock. So I'm just going to show you here, just colouring in one of these koi fish. So I'm using my Copic sketch markers. So for the main fish, I used 3 shades, YR04, 07 and 09. And that was for the main body of the fish. For then just the ends of the fins, I wanted to do a little bit of kind of blend in there. So I did add a little bit of red. So I used Y27 and just kind of blended that together. Really simple colouring here, nothing too much, because don't forget you're really not going to see a lot of this in the kind of end card. You do see some of the fish, and that's why I did sort of take my time with the fish, but yeah, you don't sort of see too much. Again, I coloured in those lily pads, but you don't end up seeing them. I did then colour in the background, and I used BG11, so really light, just so it wasn't kind of stark white, and I really love how this background finished. So I'm going to skip past the rest of the colour, and like I said, it's very, very basic, and like I said as well, you're not going to see too much of it. I'd already cut this to the size that I wanted, so I didn't need to trim this down, but you can see this finished look, and this would just make a fantastic background to a regular card. So the next thing I need to do is get this background stuck down, then I can go ahead and pop on that inside card. So I just used some double-sided tape again and layered that, and again I think that just makes a beautiful card on its own, but I've added some double-sided tape to the back of our card insert, and I'm going to stick this in. I do end up sticking it just a tiny bit wonky, which is a little bit disappointing because obviously that using the double-sided tape, it's a lot more permanent. You don't have any wiggle room unless you add a little bit of glue. But I'm so happy with how this turned out. So you can see putting this inside how much that background is kind of covered, but I love that you can see kind of the two heads and then you see more of the two tails of the fish, and just I wanted to get a little peek of that lily pad there. So I really love how that is looking. The next thing I'm going to do is add the matte layer to this front piece, and then we're going to use our embossing folder on that piece of blue cardstock. So I'd already cut the blue cardstock to the size that I needed, but before putting it into the embossing folder, I decided to kind of try to enhance this design a little bit so you could kind of see it on this blue cardstock a bit better. So I picked out this Ranger Pigment White ink. This is the Glacier White. I never have tons of success using this white ink pad, but I wanted you to kind of be able to see that design a little bit more. But I ran it through my die cutting machine anyway, and afterwards just to add a little bit more to this, so you can see here, all I did was just kind of smush that ink pad and kind of wipe it over the surface a little bit, just so it could pick up those sort of waves and that design a little more, and I think it did kind of come out reasonably well. So I'll pop this into position now. So again, I've put some double-sided tape on the back of this and just added it over that front layer. So I wanted to keep this bit fairly simple because I'm going to have something a little bit busier now on the front. So I've added my mats and layers to the inside of this piece, and then that gold and red card to the front. And now I'm going to start stamping using lots of the other images from this stamp set. So to begin with, I'm going to use this Geisha Girl. So I'm going to ink this up in the Memento Tuxedo Black ink again, because I'm going to use my alcohol markers. And I've stamped this just off to the right hand side. And what I'm going to do is create a mask for this as well. So this front panel, I'm going to use probably a handful of those stamps, and I want to have kind of a layered look, so you could stamp these and cut them and layer them out, but due to the sort of nature of the card, it is kind of bulky already. It would definitely fit in a regular envelope, but I didn't want to kind of add too much bulk in the way of kind of foam and things like that, so I've kept this all simple. I like to think that it's a little bit more of a skill than to kind of create dimension but in a single layer, rather than kind of layering everything up. It just gives a really nice kind of clean finish to a project. So what I've done here is stamped my Geisha Girl. Now with the layering and masking, the first image you need to stamp is what you want to be in the foreground. So my Geisha Girl is going to be in the foreground. I've popped a mask on her. So then my second image, which is this big round kind of scene, is going to appear behind her. So your first stamp always needs to be what you want in the foreground. So you can see this is kind of my finished front page. So you know, I've put the stalk in there. We've got a little bit of the cherry blossom. I've popped one of those kind of Japanese symbols in there as well. I don't want it to be kind of too busy. There's a lot of kind of black in the design here. And with the koi fish, the really bright fish we've got using that embossing folder, I really didn't want to kind of overpower it too much. So I just did some really simple colouring with my alcohol markers. So you can see that just here, sorry for the wobble of the camera there. So this is my finished sort of topper, if you like, my sort of finished panel. And I think it's going to bring the whole card together really nicely. I'm going to use some double-sided tape again to adhere this to the front. I also don't end up putting a sentiment on the front of this. You absolutely could. I'm going to stamp one on the inside. You could put one kind of over the blue of the embossing folder, but I really didn't want to kind of pull any focus away from that embossing folder, so I decided just not to put anything. You don't always have to pop a sentiment on the front of the card. I really love how this has turned out. It's just something a little bit different as well, creating a different kind of card just sort of changes things up a little bit. So again, like I said, stamping this happy birthday into the inside piece. So this is where you can write your message. If not, you can just write your message on the back of the card. That's not a problem. I did also add that piece of gold Miri card to the left hand panel. That was the only piece that I didn't have a layer for. So just sort of really helped finish that off. What I could have done again is stamped a little bit more of these images and kind of, you know, put them where we've got that gold Miri card, but I decided not to. I decided just to keep it to those 3 areas that you can kind of see. So you've got this front panel with all of that detail, you've got that embossing folder detail, and then when you open it up, those koi fish in that background, and then they're really bright and they kind of jump off the page nicely. So I really love how this card is finished out. Again, this is a Joy fold card, something a little bit different, and this was using the Japanese Dream stamp set and embossing folder from issue 104 of Creative Stampin'. So if you did like this card, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so you don't miss out on any future videos. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.